Good morning. So this is my video blog for day 2 of this conference here in Krakow, and what a full day yesterday was. This is this is Friday. I'm not keeping up with the days. Friday the 15th of November, and yesterday, as I say, was a very full day. We started off in the morning with the Cardinal Archbishop of Krakow, Stanisław Dziwisz, coming and opening the conference at 8:30 in the morning, and he was just welcoming us all. I was very interested to hear him because he was the personal secretary to John Paul II when John Paul was in the Vatican, and just a small man, quite very warm-hearted, very welcoming to us all. And I think it was a great encouragement for those organising the conference here to have his input and his support. And then the day really went through with worship from Sanita and the band, Andrzej's wife, and we had a good time of worship. I was so excited to be meeting a number of friends I didn't know would be here, people from Warsaw who it was a surprise to see, and then a whole bunch of people from Slovakia who come up from Podlinie. So I didn't think we're going to be here because they had missions, but there they were sitting in the galleries of the hall. And Bohush and Alana came over afterwards to say hello, so it was really lovely to see them. So the main sessions in the morning were taken by, first of all, by Father Peter Hocken, a speaker whom I love to hear, and then someone I haven't heard before but I've heard of, who was Father Prado Flores from Mexico. And both of them concentrated on the theme of the kerygma being the actual announcement of the good news about Jesus, as separate to the teaching about Jesus and the development of disciples about Jesus. They were making a very clear distinction, both of them, between the teaching about Jesus and the development of disciples and the initial proclamation, because both of them were really saying that the proclamation about Jesus, the kerygma, is about an event. And it's about something clear. It's about the death, the resurrection, and the glorification of Jesus. And it's on the basis of hearing that story and also the testimony of that story that people come to faith. And so it was really great, especially hearing two very adept Roman Catholic priests teaching people about the need for there to be a personal conversion experience. That it isn't enough to be sacramentalized in the church or catechized in the church, that there needs to be that confrontation, that encounter with Jesus. So that was amazing to hear. After the main sessions in the morning, there was a discussion panel, and several people were involved in that, including Pastor Ulf Ekman, who's a Pentecostal pastor from Sweden, and others came along to be part of that. Father Prado Flores hosted that, and people were able to come and ask questions and also to share their feelings and their thoughts with the conference. So in that sense, it wasn't just talking heads at the front doing their thing, it was actually a real sense of conferencing, of people being able to contribute. After that, we went from the hall where we were meeting to the 13th century monastery of Mogiła, which is not far away, just behind the sports hall where we were. And there we were ushered into a lovely room in the monastery, and there was a short press conference. I have to say I've never been part of a press conference before, but they'd invited some of the media to come, and Father Prado and Father Peter and others just gave a rundown of what was happening, and then some of the journalists there weren't many, there were probably 4 or 5 journalists there, but they were asking questions about the nature of the conference. And then we had lunch together in the beautiful refectory of the Cistercian monastery, with the beautiful portraits around us and the vaulted ceiling, and it was just a lovely. I got a chance then to chat with Bruce Kluwet of YWAM, who's actually been coming to Poland longer than I have. He was here when things started up way back in the 70s with Father Blachnicki of Light Life Movement, and he was with YWAM. And so it was good to be able to talk to him. I'd heard a lot about him, but haven't yet had a chance to meet him. So that was good, having a chance to chat with him. After lunch, I came back to the hotel and had a little trip into town on the tram, which was nice to do, knowing my love of transport. and went into the old town just as it was getting dark, and it was really beautiful to see the clothiers' hall and the centre of the city with the soft lights on it of the evening. Then the evening was quite an experience. I hadn't expected at all to be involved in the evening. No one had told me I might be, but I was invited to come and read the gospel, part of the gospel, last night. And as I got further into it, it unfolded what it was we were doing. Bishop Gregory, who is overseeing the conference and actually oversees new evangelization in Poland, was preaching in the evening and was actually speaking to what turned out to be an abbey church at Mogiła, full, about 2,000 people there. People were coming early. I arrived about 7:20, and people were flocking into the church to make sure of a seat. And what I was doing was basically reading part of Luke 9. I read the first part, and then the Lutheran pastor from Krakow came and he read the second part, and then Bishop Gregory read the third part. So it was a very ecumenical expression together of being together in the gospel of Jesus. A very moving thing to be part of, very moving to be involved in sharing the gospel with really a packed church of Catholic people, and sharing with others ecumenically. It was something that really touches my heart. If any of you know me, you know that I love that whole fact of unity in the church, and that was very much the theme last night. There was beautiful music, instrumental music, some very unusual music, a sung version of Psalm 51, a very modern sung version of Psalm 51, and a lovely small orchestra. And we processed in along this long abbey church, following the cross, with myself and the pastor, the Lutheran pastor, and Bishop Gregory. And at the end we were able to each bring a blessing to the assembly in the way that we would be used to, and processing out at the end to a beautiful, very haunting Jewish melody which everyone seemed to know was singing. I didn't know myself, but it was a very powerful day. And I suppose the main thrust of what Bishop Gregory was speaking about last night was the fact that Jesus comes as a Messiah who carries a cross, and the cross is the instrument of his messiahship, that it was necessary. He dwelt for a little while talking about why it was necessary. Jesus needed to carry the cross was necessary for him. And I understand from others that Bishop Gregory was formerly part of the neo-catechumenate movement, which really has space for looking at people's failures and people's weaknesses, and the fact that Jesus walks with them in their weaknesses. So that was yesterday. This is today. This is Friday, and this is the day when I get to break in my Polish. I'm going to be sharing this afternoon in a seminar, and I'm quite looking forward to being able to be very direct with people without having to go through an interpreter. So if you're seeing this before Friday afternoon, I'd appreciate your prayers, and I'll feed back tomorrow on how that went. So have a good day. Dobrego dnia do wszystkich.